Yeah, thank you, Ivana, for the nice introduction. Good afternoon here from Berlin. I'm going to talk about the EDU4Standards project. I'm also involved in Standardization, but here you heard sufficiently from Ivana. Let's see here. Next slide. This is the consortium. Means you see here many university, particularly technical university, and also our next speaker, Ivana, is with us from the University of Belgrade, and Trust IT certainly here as the platform, but also SEN, the European Standardization body, is involved, which means we are well kind of here covering different stakeholders, including also small business via SBS. Also the organization representing the interests of SMEs in Europe. What's the background? First of all, I'm quite happy to have a little bit the chance to present EDU4Standards here also in Korea, especially since we have also kind of long-term relationship with other Korean players regarding standardization and education about standardization. And the EDU4Standards is a project, but we have a little bit the ambition and the hope to make a difference in the long run, because the topic education about standardization is really very high on the agenda. First of all, the EU published in 2022 the so-called European Standardization Strategy for the first time, and here education about standardization and training was also addressed. And following this strategy, the high-level forum on standardization also has a kind of a working stream or task force dedicated to this topic. Following in 23, the European Commission published a code of practice on standardization, which mainly addressed the role of standardization in research, but also in education. And in parallel, we had the chance to conduct for the first time the so-called European Standardization Panel in 23, which revealed really that we have a demographic problem, because around 1/4 of the experts in Europe are going to retire in the next 5 years. In parallel, the US, the former Biden-Harris administration published the US Standardization Strategy, which had also one pillar focusing especially on education. Then at the national level, for example, in Germany, we have also kind of a mirror committee to this HLF, also with a work stream on education. ISO published a few years ago an international workshop agreement on education. And that means there's a high pressure. On the one hand, there's demographic change. On the other hand, there are new topics, technologies, AI, quantum, etc., which also require that standardization activities have to be started in a proper time. And we have still climate change as a big topic. Therefore, overall, the EDU4Standards project wants really to contribute to these challenges, to address these challenges, because we are well known, Trust IT is well known, but also the university representatives in the network. We are quite open in our project. For example, we also invited other interested parties to contribute to pilots on education. And we have in Europe the European Academy of Standardization, US, which might be then also the home for kind of the follow-up activities. And from this background, I wish us a very successful event. Now, on the project, overall, it's really about the capacity building, which we want to push in Europe, but also maybe in collaboration with like-minded countries. And what are the objectives? First, we want to increase the number of higher education institutes which offer teaching and standardization. Then also in parallel or complementary, increase the number of teachers and offering courses, getting more teaching material done. Increase also the visibility, for example, via academic standards days, which have been organized or are organized in collaboration also with standards bodies, and also finally to set a student association focusing on standardization. We have already kind of think a quite big community created with the network and many kind of linked people, institutions. We have also an external advisory group which is quite active. That's important. We have on the other hand and different collaborations. We have SAN on board, but also in the advisory group ISO, ICD, for example. We have planned and already doing kind of workshops, webinars. I think now 4 or 5 standards days are conducted. Another 10 or even more are going to come. Then what is also important, we are planning to generate a SAN workshop agreement. I will come back to that in a minute. And currently we are focusing on the pilots. First of all, the innovative teaching concept of standardization, we are also our next speaker, Ivana, contributed significantly, has been created. Then we are currently doing these pilots, addressing bachelor, master students in company training, also some curricular formats like summer schools. And I'm especially responsible for a pilot on the researchers working in institutes of the European Association of Research and Technology Organization, and we also will produce some online material. Then we have these standards, academic standards days, the association, and this will then also kind of will feed back into a kind of a revision of the key teaching concept. And we have different stakeholders we want to address. Since I do not have too much time, I just go to the next slide. Oops, where's the next slide? About the impact. It means we want really to reach more institutions, more people going to start to teach the topic, and we have this SAN workshop agreement. We want to get more students on the topic. We are quite ambitious. That was the major critique of the reviewers of the project, that we are quite kind of ambitious, but let's see whether we get additional kind of 5,000 experts by the end of 27. That means after the end of the project. That means we have very ambitious KPIs, but this CWA is maybe also a topic which allows a collaboration between us, because this will be an open SAN workshop agreement process going to be published in the next 2 weeks. Means also Korean experts can contribute to this document, which might be at the end also be an important input to the ISO level, maybe to get a globally common understanding on how to teach and what to teach regarding standardization on a worldwide level. Yeah, that's a little bit from my perspective in 10 minutes, just to be to keep the time limited. Later in the panel discussion, there might be some further questions I can answer. Thank you very much.
Yes, I am.
Wonderful.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Ivana. So nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining us at this time. I'll pass you the floor immediately, as you have 10 minutes, and so everyone can listen to all the wonderful things you're doing. Over to you, Ivana. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good afternoon to everyone, and I would like to present to you something more about next project, about HSbooster project. And today I will focus my presentation mostly on our effort related to HSbooster Training Academy. So basically, let me just explain what HSbooster is. HSbooster practically is 36th month coordination and support action with the main aim to offer consultancy service to EU-funded research projects. So basically, the main task of HSbooster was to provide service, mainly to connect experts and research projects and organize a service which can help them to raise their ability or actively participate in standardization. So basically, up to finishing of the project in March 2025, we practically engaged over 200 experts and deliver services to about 200 projects. So basically, that all was hard time and was let's say hard effort, but on the other side, we learned a lot. So today I would love to share with you some experience from our training academy. Basically, training academy was planned to be support to service delivery.
Ivana,
And-
sorry to interrupt you. Would it be okay for you to put the presentation in presentation mode? Because we're just stuck on the front page for the moment.
Can you see now?
We can, yes. Are you able to put it in presentation? We can see it, but are you able to remove on the left the slides? If not,
Yes, I did in my yes.
okay,
can you
that's
see
okay.
now?
We can see it. But, you're moving forward, so that's the main thing. That's great.
Yes.
Thanks, Ivana. Back to you.
Sorry. So we start to building a training academy. First, we research what are the need of European researchers in relation to standardization. Then we find out that researchers are not homogeneous target group. So among our researchers, there are small and medium enterprises, public research organization, private research organization. Basically, we should train PhD students and entrepreneurs. So we had a lot of business. But during our developing our methodology, we asked many people to provide us some insight on that. On September 27th September in 2022, we organized a workshop where we heard a lot of good ideas, and then we used that all ideas from very experienced people to create HSbooster Training Academy. First, we were focused on developing material, and we developed material in practically 3 groups. First, we were focused on basic knowledge, then we were focused on standardization in practice or practice of standardization, and then we wanted to just see what is related to standardization experience. We published HSbooster Training Academy in April 2023. But on the other side, we find out that a lot of our material we created over 400 pages related to standardization in a way which researchers use to learn, like written material. Basically, we find out topics, explain them very carefully, and we think that that is the only way. But as I already told you that we had a very diverse audience, we find out that we can't do everything for everyone. Then we start to be focused on our niche. Basically, we developed 24 courses related to different aspects of standardization, which might be of interest of research community. On the other side, we find out that many of them are interested in kind of that, but we need something more. Our courses was, if I can say, huge success. But on the other side, I can't see that we couldn't do more. We introduce HSbooster training sessions. So basically, training sessions are online lecturing in specific topic, and we invite more than 25 experts to provide some sort of training and to provide their specific expertise in a way that researchers can gain much of it. So basically, we had practically 11 training sessions explaining them what is standardization, what is European standardization system, what are standard users, and how to use standards, roles of national standardization bodies, and more of that. On the other side, we find out that we should cover something that is very important but overly neglected in training on standardization. That are the soft skills. So basically, we needed to find a way how to train our researchers in soft skills needed for standardization. So we developed serious game. This serious game is very specific because it's provide a space to learn about position of researcher in standardization. It is a role-play game based on card, which is a facilitated game, but the main point of this game is to just enhance a learning process on standardization and on the role of researchers in standardization. So basically, Serious Smiley game was huge success, and we provided a facilitator guide to just provoke many people to play this game and to use this training material, which is available for free on our HSbooster website. Facilitator guide is written and can be downloaded for free also. We checked this game on several universities and we played it in several scientific conferences, and results are always positive. But the game is focused on specific skills like strategic positioning in standardization, argumentation building in standardization, and it is not a game that is focused on consensus building, but on common agreement, but first level, common understanding. So we are in this game are focused on finding and assessing and achieving common understanding. Based on all of this, we find out we have certain results, of course. Basically,
Ivana,
25...
Sorry, Ivana, to interrupt you. If you have 2 minutes to take this forward and come to some concluding statements, okay?
Yes, I'm concluding right now.
It's wonderful. I apologize for butting in. Thank you.
Yes, we had 25 contributors, and 11 of them were coming from national standardization bodies and European standards bodies. So basically what we find out more, that researchers are not interested in all the topic we defined. So the main interest of our researchers was related to topics related to use of standards and soft skills. So basically what we find out that we should base our next maybe training in other project based on practical skills. That is practically the last slide, and thank you so much for having me in this event.
Ivana, thank you to you. A round of applause for Ivana. Thank you.